It seems my film has kicked off a couple of times, so all in one day you're going to get about 3 videos that are the continuation of this same video. I don't know why that's happening, but that's okay. Anyhow, I was talking about my mom's friend, Sarah. She she would go and buy these jewelry things at estate sales, like an old hat box or something like that. You know, the old traveling makeup case that everyone used. Right, we got this, we got this, we got this. Okay, that would use, and she would buy those, and she would come by mom's house, and she always brought me. She would resell some of the vintage jewelry out of it, and we're talking the 70s. So this had to be, stuff older than quite older than that. And she would bring it by mom's and give me the stuff she knew she would not be able to resell. And believe me, I was always so grateful to have it. I was always grateful to have it. Anything she wanted to bring, I was grateful to have it. And she brought it. So I like that. So she and a lot of times she would bring me like beaded necklaces that were broken. And women would wear these beaded necklaces that had like 3 strands. They would be like, yeah, like necklaces like this, and they'd have 3 to 4 strands, and they one of the strands or 2 of the strands would be broken, and they really couldn't be, she couldn't resell them, she couldn't do nothing with them, so she'd bring them to me, and I would have the biggest time. I'm telling you, the biggest time restringing those and making jewelry out of them. I would use my mom's sewing thread. Of course, they never stayed. They'd always fall out because, come on, it was sewing thread. But I didn't care. I absolutely did not care. And I'd make them, wind up losing them, or something happened to them. Never stayed, never kept them. But I remember every time she would do that, and my mom never cared. She brought them to me. You know, my mom knew it was going to be another mess all over the floor from me working with this stuff, and she never cared. She never cared. She never discouraged me once. It was always, "What are you going to make now, Gail?" My middle name, and that's what she'd call me. "What are you going to make now?" And I just look at her and smile because I was going to be making something. I didn't know exactly what it was going to be, but you bet yourself assured I was going to be making something. I think I want this one up here to end this with, and that should work if that's not going to be too long. I think that right there should work for this little one. Might be like a stack. I don't know. Let's see if I can beat this up real fast. I'm hoping my video doesn't cut off on me again. It's disheartening to be sitting here and videotaping something, and all of a sudden you hear that click from where it clicks off. I So my birthday present from my husband, I told him I wanted a video camera to be able to record my videos with for this channel and my other channel. And he said I could have anyone that I want, of course within reason. And we went and we looked at some of them, and I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't have a freaking clue where to even start. I just didn't. I did not have a clue where to start. And so this is going to be, is this? No, needs to be one of these. And so I was literally lost. And then we got the guy over there at the electronics department and we asked him about them. He goes, honestly, this one you can use for blogging, this one you can be used for blogging. And I said, is that what I do? Do I blog? But apparently, I guess that's what I do. And I said, okay, I'm still confused, still not sure which is the best for me. He goes, to be honest with you though, today's cell phones, just use your cell phone. I said, I'm using my cell phone, but I have difficulty with it sometimes because it'll kick off on me. And he says, well, I'm going to tell you with these, you're not going to be able to upload it straight to your your YouTube or whatever it is. What happened? Oh man, your YouTube or whatever it is that you do. You're going to have to stop. Thank you. You're going to have to how did he put it? You're going to have to do it on your laptop. I said, well, it says it's Wi-Fi. He goes, yeah, it's Wi-Fi, but not for loading directly onto your YouTube. And he goes, at least I don't. He goes, at least I don't think. At least I'm. He goes, I think I'm sure. I said, but you don't know. He goes, nope, I don't. He goes, I'm just covering this section. This isn't really my section. I said, well, can you tell me who this section belongs to? He goes, whoever's the closest. I was so disheartened. I mean, come on. I'm going there to buy a camera. I need to speak with someone who knows a little bit about them because I don't know anything. And I mean, they need to have a book, Cameras for Dummies 101. Um, and that's what I got. And so then I asked my husband, I said, so do I get a better cell phone? Do I just keep using my cell phone? Because mine's heating up. It's getting hot. I'm afraid it's going to die on me. I lost a bead. I think I have an extra up here. Then I'll get that one later. And he goes, well, I'm not sure. Well, my son came up. That was the day of my birthday. My son came up and I talked to him. And he said, honestly, Mom, he goes, your phone's going to get hot, especially when you're using it. He goes, so, use it until it dies and then just get you another one. And I said, seriously? And he goes, yeah, seriously. He goes, you do have a good camera on there. I've seen some of the videos that you're doing. He goes, it's not my cup of tea, but I did check on them. And because you're doing them, that made me feel good. Made me feel good that one of my kids would care that much. One of the guys, my daughters, yes, of course they're going to look in on them. And if nothing else, just because they love me. This is supposed to be a dark, and that's not dark. That's that clear. And so that's what I'm doing. And now here's what it's doing. It's cutting off in the middle of a video, or it's like filming 20 minutes and then flipping over to a new take. And I know some people are really savvy and they can go back and they know how to edit and splice and put it together, but I'm sorry, I don't. I really don't. I should take time to learn, but yeah, that's like doing technical things, and your girl here is just not going to get it. I have boys for that. I have a husband for that. But apparently, he's just as lost when it comes to cameras and phones as I am. So we're trying to research some of this out. And when I decide what it is I want, then he's going to get it for me for my birthday. So that's going to be a making. That's something in the making. Okay, where are oh, there it is. So that's this one we have done. Now how is this going to measure up? It has to go from there. Ooh, that does pass 3, does it not? Yeah. Take this last one off. Here. Then I'll take it off on that side. So I'm going to go ahead and start. That one's perfect. Let me see this one. I can put those back on. It's not going to hurt to have those on there. Okay. But that's going to add an inch when I do it. Remember that. That is going to add an inch. And if you want to stack it with that one, is that my idea of stacking it? Might be. Then yeah, but that's not going to do it. I'm just going to put them on. Here they are. I like having these options. I really do. Well, there we go. So I'm going to make these bracelets. I'm not sure if you're going to get to see them or not because of the way this keeps kicking off. Now back to the story I was telling you. I was sad when Sarah died. I really was, because my mom really enjoyed her friendship. My mom had other friends, but Sarah, she would come around, and you got to remember, my mom was a single mom raising 3 kids after her and my father my biological father, separated. Now, she married my stepfather by the time I was 8. He was in my life from the time I was 4. Wonderful man. He is the man I refer to as my dad. It's just a wonderful, wonderful man. He's the man I refer to as my dad. But during this time, she was even with my stepdad, and I was like 6, 7, 8, 9, and I was taking these beads and my mom's sewing thread and needle, poking needles, dropping them all over. My stepdad told me if he stepped on one more needle, and then he would say it again when he stepped on that one more needle, and he goes, if I step on one more needle, Grail, he called me Grail. He called me his Holy Grail. And, and I'm like, I'm sorry. And I turn around and lose another needle. And he was so patient and kind. He really was, because I don't think if I kept stepping on a lot of needles, I'd be happy. But then I taught my girls to sew when they were young. My oldest daughter made her first rag doll when she was 4 years old. Are you serious right now? I forgot to put those on. Thank you. Tell me I have one in here. Are you closed or open? I can't tell. You're open. Yeah, you're open. You're not locked. I'll use this one, but I'll remember to put one on that end before I put the crimp on. I hope. Because I prefer those ones over these ones. These ones are hard for me. They didn't used to be, but then oh, that's good. Okay, no complaints there. That worked. That worked well. Now, this end. Remember to put this on. Right? There we go. Now I need a crimp. Didn't I get another one out? Not going to waste time. I'll just grab a couple more. I feel like I'm racing against my clock, against my phone. I'm not going to do that. I'm slowing down. Like, my husband's busy. My son's at work. It's just me. My dog even went in to take his nap. It's kind of funny because in the afternoon when I got done filming this morning, I done one and they'll be on later. My little dog was out here. And I went in and I thought, well, since I got up as early as I did this morning, I thought hubby was still working and everything. I thought, well, I'm just going to kind of like curl up on the couch for a few minutes, the edge of the couch, and maybe watch a video and probably just doze off for a few minutes. And I looked over at Ty. I was heading in. I looked over and I said, Ty, it's nap time. And he gets up and waddles over to the door, and he goes in with me, and he goes straight to his cage. Straight to his cage, and he curls up in his cage underneath his blankets. Now, mind you, he has a day bed that sits in front of the TV that he can go over and curl up in anytime he wants. But I said nap time, so he goes to his cage. His cage is never locked, and I removed his cage once because I just think they're mean. And I moved. Well, if you got a puppy, then I suggest them at night. But for a senior dog, he doesn't need a cage. But he likes his cage. It's never locked, but it's his place. I don't know. Maybe it's like his dog house. I don't know, but it's his place, and he will good. He'll go over there and he'll just curl up underneath his blanket and he'll take his nap. And then the house is quiet, and then 9 times out of 10, I'll doze off too. That just needs the findings. Let's get this one done up now. So the other day I went in, and Ty didn't want to come in when I came. So he was out here, and I went over and I was sitting on the edge of the couch and I was watching videos. It was about 2 o'clock, waiting for my husband gets off around 3:15, 3:30, depending on how long he takes for lunch. I'm waiting for him, and I'm just watching a video. I like to watch Tampa J and his roadside attractions and abandoned places throughout Florida. And I had him up, and I was watching his newest one. And there. And I didn't put that on. I hope I have another one of those ones. And I hear Ty at the door. Well, I'm just dozing off. So, I thought Ty was in the house. I had forgotten he had stayed out. And so my husband goes and he opens the door, and then Ty's looking at him like, "Who are you?" Because normally it's me. And he goes, "Come on, Ty. Come on, Ty." And Ty's just sitting there looking at him. I said, "Donnie," I said, "tell him it's nap time." He goes, "What?" I said, "Just tell him it's nap time." He goes, "Okay, come on, Ty, it's nap time." Ty jumps up and he walks over, goes over to the couch where I'm at, kind of sniffs, and he sees that I'm kind of like got my head laying down on my arms, and then I'm going to doze off. And he goes over to his cage, climbs in his cage, pulls the little door, and burrows underneath his little baby blanket. And my husband goes, "What is he doing?" I said, "He's taking a nap. It's nap time." And my husband says, "Oh, Lord." He goes, "He's just like you." I'm thinking, yeah, he's more like you with that temper of his. My husband really don't have a bad temper. I don't want anyone to think that. My husband makes his mind up on something. It would take an act of God for him to change it. Because once it's made up, it's made up. The only thing is getting him to make it up. A lot of times I get aggravated and say, "Can we just do this?" And he'll say, "If you want to, we can." I say, "Yeah, we do. We want to. Let's do this." I'm catching this time. I said, "Yeah, we want to. Let's just do this." I go, "Okay, we can do that." So for my birthday, this coming Friday, by the time you see this, it'll be in the past. We are going to, I can't remember if it's called the Valerie or the Valkyrie Theater, to watch a live tribute comedy act to the Smother Brothers. If anyone knows who those are, I'll give you a hint. Mom always did like you best. And so my husband originally was taking me, he got me tickets. And then my son and his wife, said they'd like to see it too. So we got them tickets, but we couldn't get tickets together. So our tickets are separate. And that's okay. That's okay, because hopefully we all can go out to dinner afterwards if it's not too late. Hopefully. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I need you to get down there as far as you'll go. Let's see if I can work this down here. Come on now. I smell that wood burning again. It's very flavorful. It's very scented. It really smells good. I love the smell of burning wood. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. I always have. I had one old aunt that had one of those wood stoves, cooking stoves that you put wood into, and like I said, she was an old aunt. She was no, she was old. She was one of my dad's older sisters, and we went over and seen her. And Buddy, she lived way down deep, 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 deep in the hills. And she had that big old stove. I mean, that stove was huge. And you literally put firewood in it to cook on. You literally did put firewood in it to cook on. And she could get that thing stoked up and get that fire, and the fire also, ran her oven. She could get that stoked up and burning just so even and so nice, and she can make the best biscuits in there. I'm telling you. I told her, I said, you're like an original pioneer lady. And that's when I was young. I was real young when I told her that. I said, almost like a Little House on the Prairie. And she kind of like just smiled. And she was born in 1912. So this was in the 70s. And cousin 1975, I was 10 years old. So yeah, so it was in the 70s, and she just smiled, and she just gave me a pretty smile. She was, well, it comes with practice. This is the way, we all used to live at one time. I thought, not us. I told her, I said, not us. And she just smiled. And I remember her. That was Aunt Elsa. I remember her. Even though she died when I was still very, very young, I remember her. And I remember those biscuits she made, and how her house smelled of that lovely, and I mean lovely, wooden fire. And there were certain types of wood she would throw in that fire. And she also would use it to heat her home at times. You know, she would. She was amazing. But I remember what I was saying before I was getting too sidetracked. Where is the? I remember her making those biscuits, and those biscuits were huge. Not these little small things, they weren't these little small biscuits, like, she made them huge. One biscuit's all you need, and she made this gravy like you wouldn't believe. And it was just the best gravy. It was a sausage gravy, but I've had sausage gravy before, but the way she made it, man. But remember, the sausage came from her own livestock and her own seasonings and things. So yeah, it wasn't like Jimmy Dean's or something like that. It was her own, and it was really good. And we would have that biscuits and gravy. And I could never eat that whole biscuit. I couldn't. My mom would take one biscuit, jumper. My mom would take one biscuit and she would like cut it in half and she would give me part and she would take part because my mom was just a little bitty thing and she says, I can't eat this whole biscuit. And we don't waste. So mom would say, who wants to split with me? Well, you're talking your mama? Me. I want to split with mama. And she goes, who wants to split with me? And I would yell, I do. I want to split with mom. Well, my brother would eat a whole one, so he wouldn't split with her. But I thought I was special because I was getting to split with her. Through the eyes of a little girl who absolutely, absolutely wished up their mama. I did all the way up to the day she died, actually. I was blessed with a mother of all mothers. She was known as the Gracious Lady. And maybe she could have a temper. Oh, could she ever? But yeah, when we went to church and stuff, my mom was known as the Gracious Lady because there was no lady there that was a lady like her. None of them. And we didn't have a lot of money. That was just my mother herself. And I was blessed to have her as a mother and to learn from her. But I never, 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 never got a nickname like she got, the Gracious Lady. Everyone would say, Janet is so gracious, so grateful, so gracious. And it was true. She was. My mom, we could be so low on food. And we would have friends at the house or something. And my mom would always say, and even family members that came because they were hungry and they would come to the house and my mom would say, there is always room at our table for one more. And I don't know how she did it. There's that one that turned out pretty from them old beads, and we added some new beads. I don't know how she did it, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't. My mama always said, it's always best that everybody gets a little bit instead of instead of someone being left out. So you may have had to cut back on your serving a little bit, but I'm telling you what, there was no one walking away from my mom's table hungry. You might have liked to have a little bit more in your belly. Well, you know what? Drink another glass of milk or another cup of water, or another cup of coffee or something. Because she said it's always best for everyone to have a little bit than for someone to be hungry. And no one ever left her house hungry. Your belly may not have been 100% full, and she would offer you another glass of milk, or she would offer you another cup of coffee to fill your belly. But everyone who sat at that table was going to eat. And I've seen her do it. And I've seen her take a box of stuffing mix, stove top stuffing. Now listen to me. I've seen her take, um, listen at me, Tate, listen to me like I'm talking, like I'm a great narrator. I apologize for that. But she always amazed me what she did. She would take a box of, she had hamburger, and we didn't have a lot. My mama would take stove top stuffing, a box of stove top stuffing, mix it in with a pound of hamburger if that's all we had, or two pounds if that's what we had, and then she would take and add an egg to it. I don't know why she added an egg, but she did. And she would fry up these hamburgers, and they would be, oh my God, they were so great. They were so great. And my friends would say, everyone too says, Janet, you can make the best hamburgers. My mom called them are starvation burgers. Those are starvation burgers because in the 70s with inflation, everything was high. And yeah, those were starvation burgers. And where my mama learned that from was actually from that same aunt who cooked on the fire. But it wasn't stovetop that she used. She used her breadcrumbs that she would season to make stuffing, to make regular stuffing. She would use that. Look at this. Look at these two bracelets that we made. These could be stacked. I'm going to see. She would use croutons that she made from dried out bread and seasonings, or toasted bread and seasonings that she would create, and add an egg to fill her meat to make it last longer, to feed more. Look at that. Aren't those adorable? Those absolutely turned out adorable. I'm happy with that. And that is from just leftover beads. I don't think I can use these silver ones. They look pretty marked up. But I do believe that I can use these ones. So that's the reason why I say my mom's the gracious lady. No one walked away from my mom's table hungry. Even if, even if what we got was starvation burgers. And she always kept flour and that stuff in the house. And she would make let's see what we got here. Like this too. Got another one of those. And another one. She would make how many of these I've got? Okay, a couple. Lights are getting dim out here now, so I don't know if we'll be able to finish this one. That's a darker one. My mom would make because she would feed everybody, she'd find a way. Everyone who said her table ate. Like I said, no one went away hungry. If they did, it was of their own doings, not of my mother's. If someone walked away from that table hungry, it was of their own doings, not of my mother's. Because my mother's made sure everybody ate. I don't have another one of these. But this would also make another bracelet, but I don't have another one of these. So and that would take it 3 to 3. That's sad. I don't have another one of those. Well, that isn't going to work. It would have to end there. This would have to go down here and then there. Unless I took, we might give me a couple of these. Come on, roll it down. The light's fading behind me. I can feel it. Like that. That would do it. And I think that would use up all of the beads I took off of. I knew that was going to do that. It's bent, that's why. Doesn't want to stay on it. I think I have an empty one I might be able to use. Maybe. Okay. Right there. See if I can do this as fast as I can. No, you don't. I can put that on after. Losing my light out here. I'm losing my light. May not be able to finish this one. If I can, I'll just put the cap on it and finish it in the house. I want to thank everyone who gave me. Now, when I'm filming this is right after New Year, so it's just 2 days after my birthday. And I want to thank everyone who wished me a Happy New Year and birthday wishes. Those are really nice. I really appreciated them. They made my day. So I wanted to say that before I forgot. That's the rules that my dad taught me to live by. And I probably aren't going to remember all of them right now, but one of them was respect all others. Respect all others. Help when you can. Do no harm. Always be thankful and acknowledge what others have done for you. And he was set in his ways, and he liked things one certain way. And we respect him for the way he was. Don't know if I can get this. I think I wanted one of these, didn't I? I did. Don't know if we can get these on there fast enough. Because the light is dimming. I'm in a race against the sun. I think it just went. Don't know yet. Let's just see. If we don't like it, I'll take it off. I do. We are in a race for daylight. Can you believe this? This is kind of exciting. I appreciate you guys for being here. This channel wouldn't be here without you. It would just be a private blog. And at first I thought that's what I might do with it. But with encouragement from family and especially my husband and some good friends, I decided to put it out there and see how it does. The one thing I didn't think I would receive would be a little bit of animosity, like jealousy setting in with one of my friends over it, and that really broke my heart. And I'm not going to understand that one. I'm not going to act like I do understand it, because I don't. And I'm not going to understand it. My heart's just broken over that one. Just honestly broken. But I'm not going to let it deter me. Deter, whatever you want to call it, me away from doing what I love. I guess it's because, I don't know, they do this kind of work, before I knew them, and they just didn't want to, they don't want to do it anymore. And I was doing it before I realized that that's what they did. And they just, my heart's broken, and I wish them well. But if they're going to keep up the animosity towards me, then I wish them well away from me. That's all I got to say about it. I believe there's enough for everybody. Ouch. Gotta get that to lock. Perfect. Now let me grab, I got those. I need to grab another, I know where they are. Here they are. I push the limit, don't I? You think there's that one that broke. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with that. It failed. It didn't break. It just failed. Now I know how I lost my Thanksgiving bracelet, because I almost lost my birthday necklace with that. And so I won't be using those anymore. Those kind anymore. These little ones, I sing their jumper. I sing their praises all day long. They work really well. When I sweep up this lanai, I find little bitty jumper rings on the ground. Not a whole lot, but a couple here and there from where they've jumped. Come on. I'm not doing this. I'm not fighting with you. There we go. Perfect. Now, thought I had another one. Nope. Okay, that's fine. They're right here. Size I had. I'm calling you a non-jumper ring, so you don't jump. Okay. Ouch. That's adorable. I don't want that locked under like that. I want it locked. Let me see. Well, just turn it. Okay, I'm confused. There, that way. So, that's what we made. And look how pretty these would look stacked. Let's see. How pretty would those look stacked? Absolutely gorgeous. So there you go. Those are the bracelets that we made out of old jewelry. We still have plenty that we can work with. Maybe this will be another video another time. We'll revisit working with these. We still have these ones to add to it, and we still have these ones to add to it. So we can decide what we want to do with all those beads and create some beautiful beaded bracelets. I am going to revisit this challenge, not here soon, but am going to revisit this with the blue so we can make some more beautiful bracelets to put into my shop. These are absolutely adorable. I'll probably sell them all three together. I'm not sure. Okay, so if you will, like, subscribe, click the notification bell, share, comment. Most of all, comment. I'd like to know what you think. Stay forever magical, my friends. And as always, blessed be.